It's actually incredible that in 1959 they paid the men £5,000 for a film,
and the women
they paid the women 2.5.
Yeah,
and in 1974 they paid the men £5,000 for a film and the women 2.5.
Yeah.
It never changed
But it
over
paid
all
the
that
rent,
period.
didn't it?
Yeah.
And you would find most of the people who were in carry-ons, all of us, we were theatre actors, so we would be doing theatre at night. So that's how we made up the pennies. You know.
And do you think it worked because you had that team, you had the core,
Yes.
so you had Sid,
Yeah,
Kenny, and yourself.
yeah.
And if somebody came in and might have been terrific, but didn't quite fit
Yeah,
in,
no, they were cut.
They didn't get
I
asked
remember
back.
one act in Carry On Camping, one actress, Trisha, I can't, sorry, remember her name, Trisha, she had a big part through it, and you can't hardly see her. They cut it, yeah.
And then they didn't ask her
They
back.
did it, and they edited it
Yeah.
as they went along.
But Peter Rogers, one of his lines is, I'll do anything for my actors except pay them.
That's right.
So, but what was the story where you ended up with a lot of marmalade being sent to you by Fortnum and Mason? Do you remember that story?
No.
There was this thing where you were doing carry on camping and you were mic'd up and you were talking to Kenneth Williams. It's disgraceful. Freezing cold in PT clothes. We're treated like and Peter Rogers comes in his limousine. We're treated like a load of rubbish, but he falls with his arse in the marmalade.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, we should have loads of marmalade.
And he overheard this and apparently sent you a consignment of marmalade from Fortnum.
Well, yeah. Well, what happened was it was that terrible scene. You know that one. Yeah, and it was pouring with rain. It was a terrible day. We made always those kind of films we made in the winter. All the summer ones, Carry On Abroad, all of those, you know. And this was in the winter, and they would never go on location. They would get a field at the back, which they did, so they wouldn't have to pay for anything to Pinewood Studios. They painted the ground green. They put leaves on the trees. But I tell you, apart from you see a bit of mud when I'm doing that, you would believe it was in Cornwall. You really would. And we were doing that famous scene. Oh, God, that was it. And I was so terrified when I saw it in the script. I went, oh, my God, but that doesn't happen. That doesn't, does it, ladies? That when you do that, they don't do that, do they? It goes down there. So anyway, so I thought, oh, my God, well, anyway, I talked to the wardrobe and we thought, fine. So what we do, have that, and then we'd have the fishing rod. And then I realised, as it came off, and you weren't allowed to show your boobs, because that was John Trevelyan. That was the days, you know, they're very strict. So I thought, oh, God, someone's going to see my boobs. Oh, God, what's going to... So they got somebody who'd been in the business for years and years and seen it all and couldn't have cared less. He was well into his 70s, 75, and he was going to retire. You see, he was going to retire, so he's, you know. So anyway, so they got the fishing rod. I'm going back on that story, but I'll tell about Peter. And got the fishing rod, so put it there. So then I'm going, and up we go, and up, and then he had to pull it, you see. But of course, it didn't come off. There was the mud. I went right down into the mud, and this was the very words. I swear to God. Pick her up, rub her down, get the mud off. We'll have to go again. Not sorry, Bob. No, nowadays they go, sorry, darling. No. Okay, so do it again. But so I did it the second time. All went well, and then he went to the camera and went, oh. Said, this was Gerald. Oh, you've gone and shown your right boob. Oh, no, he didn't say that. He said, you know, right here. He said, oh, we'll have to do it again. Oh, the censor won't pass it. All that. So I did it 3 times altogether, and the third one was perfect. When they took it to the censor and said, look, we've got 2 versions. One, John Trevelyan, we were talking about him the other day. He looked at it and he said, well, I don't think Miss Windsor's right boob is going to corrupt the nation. I'll pass it. So that's how I got famous for that. But he would sit there in his Rolls Royce, Peter, the producer, and we had no toilets, no nothing, you know. And then when we went for lunch, we had to schlep all the way back to the studio because they didn't have to pay us for lunch because it was all part of the studio. I mean, they earned money. They had it coming out of every orifice. They did their money. But there we go. But I loved it.
But that clip, I mean, we've got it in our festival trailer,
yes.
And it's endlessly shown. I mean, are you kind of happy that that's shown so much, or would you rather they kind of showed a wonderful clip from Sparrows or something like that?
Well, I'd rather have me tap dancing, skipping and tapping in The Boyfriend. For Ken Russell.
And again, one of the great directors that you worked with was
nobody
Ken
could
Russell.
do it. All these wonderful dancers, and I was the only one, because we learnt that when I was young.